Hello and welcome to another video. This is the Bathtub, and today we have for you Contraband Police. Now this is the prologue edition, so this is the pre-release of the full game that we have for you here. It's brought to you by the developer Crazy Rocks and published by Playway SA. Now, this was actually released on the 16th of February this year, so it's not a brand new game, but I did just stumble across it, and I'll tell you why in a moment. I thought this would be something for me. So the description of the game. You are a border police inspector in a communist country of the early 1980s. Every second driver is a smuggler, and vehicles are stuffed with hidden contraband. Documents, vehicles, cargo. Everything is a subject to a detailed control. And this is a 5-day tutorial of the final game. So basically you get 5 days. Each level, should we say, is a day. So you get 5 of those, which teach you how to play. Alright then, so let's have a quick look at the options then. We've got some basic controls. These just indicate, movement, how to interact with things, that kind of stuff. All of them are customizable, so you would just simply just click on anything you want to change and click on the corresponding key to what you'd like it to be. So that's it's pretty much simple as, but it's good that you can change everything. Just some basic mouse options when it comes to the sensitivity, some audio options as you can see. Be playing the game in 1080p. And as a final point, we are just making sure the language is, of course, in English. Going back a bit as to why I want to play this, so I just mentioned a second ago there was a reason, and that particular reason was it does sound very similar in terms of gameplay to a game that I absolutely enjoyed from many years ago called Papers, Please. If you're not familiar with that game, it was a game set in a fictional communist country. You would play the border guard, and you would be responsible for allowing or denying certain people into the country based on their documents that they provide you, increasing in difficulty as it goes along, so making sure their face matches, their names match, and various other bits of information about them. And it sounds a bit like that. Now the only difference with this is it works on a similar principle, but you are playing in a first person perspective, and it involves primarily checks on vehicles and the people driving them. So you work at a checkpoint, you bring the cars in, you speak to the drivers, they provide you the documentation, and you have to cross-reference that based on the little knowledge pack that you have alongside you to make sure everything ties up. If they are legit, you can let them through. If they aren't legit, you don't let them through. And if you make the right decision, then you get some money. If you make the wrong decision, you lose some money. It's actually a very deep game. I thought it was just going to stop, personally, at bringing the cars through, checking the vehicles, making sure you're recording all the defects on the vehicles as part of the little checklist, getting the driver's documents, going through the documents, making sure those documents are genuine, and that would be it. But absolutely not. No. The game allows you to walk anywhere you like, so you can walk around this little compound that you're based in. You can pick up weapons, which I'll just explain in a second as to why you might need those. You can interact with doors, you can interact with people, so there's actually quite a lot you can do. Now, to what purpose? Some of it maybe is just aesthetic, but all the same, there's quite a lot to actually do, aside from the main idea of the game. Now, with the weapons I just mentioned, you can have things like pitchforks, knives, you can have spades, and all of those have an actual use in the game. So, for example, you suspect somebody, for whatever reason, based on criteria that you're given, that somebody is smuggling drugs in the seat of their car. So you're given the details of the car or the person who may be doing this. You discover that's them now pulled up to you, and you can ask them to get out the car, and you can use these tools to tear into the seat to find the contraband goods. That works for different things as well, so you can actually use these items to attack people. So I did so many times. I mean, I used a pitchfork to stab a few people, and I used a knife to prod a few people. In fact, I killed someone at one moment in time when he actually got stuck on a rock, so I had to go at just killing somebody. I don't know if I was supposed to. I think I was actually supposed to arrest them, but all the same, accidents do happen. And it gets yet deeper than that. So you're not even confined to your compound. As the game goes on, you may find someone that's trying to smuggle contraband in, and you can arrest them. So they end up in the little cell you've got in the compound, and then you're asked to then take them, put them in this little police wagon that you've got, and then take them to this, what is effectively a prison, should we say. And then you have to drive this car. So just using WASD was sad. You just drive this police truck, and the police truck itself is actually quite cool. You can turn the radio on, turn the radio off, change the channel, put the siren on. You can interact with quite a lot, as I said just a moment ago, in terms of in the vehicle too. And yeah, so you've got to then drive around this map and go to different places. And this is potentially where it might appeal to some people, might not appeal to others. Now, for me personally, I would have been very much happy just remaining in the compound and doing those checks with some variations there. So making sure the checks that you have to carry out do change. A lot of the game, as it goes on, you have to go outside the compound and drive to various places. So, as I say, you've got to take someone to a prison. You then have to go to a shop to get some more weapons. And for me, it's veering slightly away from the idea of the game. And I don't think it's necessary. I think it's kind of just been thrown in, although there's nothing wrong with it, I think it's just been thrown in to bulk it out for the sake of bulking it out, giving you this open map. And so that's my opinion on it. Other people may like the idea of the open map and being able to drive around, and a little bit of that would be absolutely fine. And one particular mission was somebody pulled up into your compound and tried to just drive off, and you have to then get into your police truck and chase them and then catch them. And then this is where that guy kind of got stuck on the rock when he got out of the vehicle. Some sort of graphical glitch there, and he wouldn't move. So as I said, I had no choice but just to kill him. But yeah, there's quite a lot outside, but I don't think it's entirely necessary. So for me, keep in the compound, do the day-to-day checks, make them variable from day to day, great. But then all these extra little things, I'm not sure they're there for any reason other than the sake of just being there. Going back to the base game itself, so the bread and butter of the game, the checks on the people. Now, the variation is actually really good. So you get them to pull up, you can weigh the vehicles. So you've got various things. You can check that the vehicles are within limits of information that you have about that vehicle. You can check the stamp of where the person is coming from as per their passport. You've got to check the date, you've got to check the name, the registration plate of the vehicle, all of those little things. Now, it varies, which is quite good, so you're going to get a different thing each time. But as these 5-day tutorial sessions go on that you go through, you start learning about cargo. So you get people pull up in trucks and you have to take the cargo out, or you can take the cargo out of the truck. You can then bring up your clipboard, you count all of the different items that are in there, and you compare that to what the drivers declared they've got. And again, if they've got something they've not declared, or they've under-declared, over-declared, you can then pull them up. You can not let them in, you can even arrest them, that sort of thing as well. So there's so much variation. There's some fella even turned up with a cow in the back, so I asked for the cow to be taken out of the truck to make sure there's nothing hidden behind the cow, and then the cow just stands there for no apparent reason in the compound, just having a great old time. And then it turns out that it was quite innocent. They'd declared a cow and there was nothing hidden behind the cow. But just little things like that, and it's good. It is actually genuinely good. And I love the way you can dive into things. So you open the engine of the car, just in case they're hiding some contraband in the engine or in the boot, and you can climb in, you can put your flashlight on, or torch as we say in this country, and you can have a look around. You can climb into the cab with them, look in glove compartments, all of those things. So I really do like the detail of what you could do. And for me, I just wish it would stop at that point. As I said just a moment ago, keep it in the compound. Keep these tasks variable, and I'd be very happy. Just a quick word on the visuals. Now, the game doesn't look bad. Okay, so the scenery looks decent. The cars look okay. It's good enough. It can pass. There are some shocking visuals on the humans though, and I don't know what it is, but they cannot do hair. Have a look as you watch through this and just look at some of the hideous work on the moustaches. It's like you've been given a person with no facial hair, you've been given a felt tip pen, or give a felt tip pen to a 4-year-old and then draw on the face. It's awful. It looks glued on, it looks messy, it just looks ridiculous. And yeah, they haven't quite got people down to a T. It looks a bit meh. I mean, I hate using the word meh, but meh as in it's okay, but it's not great, and they could do better. That's my meaning of meh. But either way, not the best. It doesn't take too much away from the game, to be quite honest, but it just would improve it a little bit for me, I think, certainly on the visual front. I'm really struggling to sum this one up, really, for you guys. I think the base game, so the checks, making sure people are providing the right documentation, checking their vehicles, ticking off all the defects. You've got a great encyclopedia to help you through your checks to pick up any problems. All of that works really nicely. The vehicles are quite varied. I think it's really good. If it just stuck to that, though, and my gripe is it goes too overboard with the things you can do. If you want to be an open world exploration game where you go and transport people around, then that should be the type of game it is, and maybe not do as much of the border checks for the contraband side of things. It just seems too much. Like at the end of the game, on the last day, you lose communications with one of the places on the map, and you have to go and find out why. So you're given a gun. This is like, you get a gun. This is fantastic, and I'm going to get to shoot some people. Could be a laugh. And you go to this place, and then you find out there's some weird government corruption thing, and then they start shooting at you, and you're like, Jesus Christ! And I was just sat in the truck. I was like, how the hell do I get out of this bloody thing? I couldn't find a way out, and they kept shooting at me. I was taking damage. And eventually I got out of the truck, and I tried shooting at them, and I was pretty sure my aim was on target for a couple of the people I was shooting at, but nothing seemed to hit. Before I knew it, I was dead, and then it came up and said the prologue is finished. Now, I don't know if that was supposed to happen. That was scripted. You're not supposed to live. I haven't got a bloody clue at that point. But is all of that necessary? I would be very happy just sat in the compound, doing my checks, maybe the occasional trip out to replenish my weaponry and my tools, things like that. Do I want to be transporting prisoners to the prison? Do I want to be fighting gang battles with a revolver? Do I want to be doing all of that stuff? Not for me. If this game is cheap enough, and I don't know how much it's going to come out as, if it's £15, £15 to £20, I might consider it if the reviews are good. Any more than £20, I'm not sold. So yeah, I'd say this is somewhere in the middle for me. It's not a bad game, and it's got some great elements to it, but it's also got some pretty pointless elements that just detract from the main point of the game for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.